Dylan Blair, Abdul Levano, Julian Kelly, Corey McNellis, Orhan Boric, Jerome West, William Gallagher, Moaletsi Safali, Samuel Badiashile, Jeffro Haas, for Subiaco AFC. Players, if we can please line up for the national anthems. If players can please come back after your huddles. Bayswater City and Subiaco AFC players, if you can please come back and line up for the national anthems. For the Australian National Anthem.
And welcome one and all to Inglewood Stadium for a bumper afternoon of football. We've got 4 finals to bring to you today. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching on the live streams on YouTube and Facebook. Big day for Football West, kicking off here with the men's under-18s State Cup final between Bayswater and Subiaco. I'm Sean Fry. I'll be calling the action for you for the first couple of games today, and delighted to be joined by the voice of football in WA, Football West, Tommy Dolman. Tommy, great to have you here. Looking forward to today.
Yeah, really excited for this one, Sean. Like you say, a bumper day, 4 cup finals, 18s, 20s, women's and seniors, and hopefully this rain stays away and we see some good football this afternoon.
Yeah, the grey clouds looming ominously. I'd be very surprised if we got through the whole day without a sprinkle or two, but I'd love my wet weather footy anyway, Tommy, so it won't bother me too much. Subiaco kicking off here. They'll be attacking the right screen as you watch on your TV, laptop, tablet, mobile phone, wherever you're watching. And Harrison Tay gets us kicked off. Subiaco start with possession. They're wearing the white shirts with the maroon trim. Bayswater City attacking to the left in their traditional black and navy stripes. Should be a really good game today. Of course, the NPL side in Bayswater will probably go in the favourites, but Subiaco are obviously here for a reason. Not easy to make finals, Tommy, as any English fans that have watched the Euros over the last couple of weeks will tell you.
Yeah, and even at under 18 level, Sean, there's a degree of maturity that's associated with obviously keeping you calm in these knockout games and battling hard and finding your way through the tournament. Subiaco obviously had a good win in the last round as well.
It's a long ball in behind the Subiaco defence. Swept up there by Samuel Assumption. He's wearing the gloves today for Subi. His opposite number, well, not his opposite number since he's wearing number 99 today, but the opposite goalkeeper up the other end, Preston Gilling for Bayswater. Actually spent a couple of years with the Glory. Was here with the Bayswater youth team and went off to spend a couple of years at the Glory, and now he's back and playing in a cup final, so I'm sure he's delighted to be back wearing the gloves for Bayswater. Subiaco take possession at the back. That's Jonah Froman. Back to Assumption, who hits it long, headed down by Jethro Haas. Centre half for Bayswater. Picked up in midfield by Subiaco, but the pass is astray. Cleared by Abdul Mabano. Subi throw in an attacking position. Across his block to be another throw. I was speaking to Michael Carboni, the Subiaco coach, before the game, Tommy, and he was hesitant to single out any players for praise over their cup run so far, mostly because it's, in his point of view, been a real team effort. He did mention a few players to look out for, though, in Jacob Carboni, Reece Kapoor, Jonah Froman. Basically listed the whole team as having performed really well in the run to the finals. And I think that's what you get when you're up against a big club like Bayswater and all the other NPL clubs that they've defeated on the way. It hasn't been an easy run for Subi. They had to get past Rockingham, Sorrento. And the run-in for Bayswater was even more difficult. They've had Armidale, Balcatta, Joondalup and Perth, a bit of a who's who of NPL sides, but they've beaten all before them, and here they are in the final. This is Kapoor looking to get a ball into the box. Good defending there by Mbano. He's had a couple of important interventions early on in this one. Just nipping in and winning the ball there for Bayswater is McNellis. Speak about players that have been singled out for praise by their coaches. Spoke to Oriano Colli, the vice president of Bayswater City, and he said that Corey McNellis is just an absolute workhorse, and a big part of why they are in this final. Hasn't been necessarily the flashy player or the player to score the goals, but certainly the type of player that you need in your side. As Bayswater look to carry the ball out of defence. Been a good start by Subiaco. A lot of ball up towards the right of screen, and stepping in there, Jonah Froman receiving a massive round of applause. Subiaco right back. He was one of the players, as I mentioned before, that Michael Carboni did single out as being fantastic so far in this tournament. Obviously a fan favourite as well.
Good aggressive start this from Subiaco. We probably expected Bayswater, given how they've progressed in the league so far, to be on the front foot nice and early, but on a cup final you've just got to get in there and give it your all from the very off, and Subiaco have definitely shown that real appetite for the contest early on.
Long ball headed down there by Jamie Kempson. Midfield for Subiaco, and a crunching challenge there by Brock Bindle. Just putting a marker down early, just a little bit late, and referee Kai Bartush blows a whistle. I believe the first free kick of the day is Lazar Spasojevic. Spasojevic looks long towards his number 9 in Boric. Brought down beautifully by Boric. Tries to get a ball into the box. Blocked. Comes back. And eventually comes out to Safali, who goes wider still to Julian Kelly. Kelly steps inside. rolls it in for Gallagher, and William Gallagher's strike saved well by Samuel Assumption.
Yeah, that's much better from Bayswater, keeping the ball well, trying to move it quickly, getting those short passes working together and getting that little bit of continuity going after that good start from Subiaco.
Kempson picking the ball up at ground level after a bit of head tennis. Spasojevic heads it back in, and another strong challenge, this time again by Bindle. That's a couple of good physical aerial challenges he's made. It's making his presence felt in midfield. Just stepping around Jacob Carbona there is Julian Kelly. Jethro Haas spreads it for Spasojevic, who takes it all the way out the other side. Bayswater look to attack down the right. Cut out, well read by Joel Garces. His long ball in the direction of Harrison Tay. Over his head. Preston Gilling will exchange a couple of passes with Spasojevic. Lazar Spasojevic steps inside his man, strides forward. Long ball, I think, intended for Samuel Badiashile.
Both teams look to be lining up in a 4-3-3 formation, Sean. Interestingly, Bayswater seemingly with two deeper-lying midfielders in their midfield three compared to Subi, who are just going for their one. So it'll be interesting to see who can get on top as the play unfolds.
Harrison Tay is going to try and be a nuisance here for Haas, and he picks his pocket. Good pressure there from the Subiaco striker. And another good challenge there in midfield by Brock Bindle. He is laying a marker on this game early, isn't he, Tommy?
Yeah, you just feel some of these players really stepping up to the energy that this crowd are starting to bring. The crowd are just gradually coming in through the doors here at Inglewood, and they're definitely responding to both of these teams starting pretty well.
A fantastic crowd here at Inglewood Stadium. An under-18s game, almost a packed stadium here. So good that we're able to do this again after all the COVID lockdowns and the threat of more after that recent outbreak. It's so good to just have fans in at these games. It was called the NPL game the other week between Perth and Floreat. Floreat, who will feature later today in the final. And it's such a weird feeling when there's no fans at a football game. Great to see everyone in here today. Trying to bite off a little more than he can chew there, Reece Kapoor. Bayswater in the throw. Bayswater looking to be patient here. Unfortunately unable to keep possession. Good work at the back this time by Kapoor. Conceded the throw before, now he's won his side of throw. He looks long down the line, but it's all black and blue there. Pass picked off in midfield by Kempson. And fired forward there. Again off Kapoor. Lively start. Subiaco 0, Bayswater 0. And Harrison Tay again. He's a couple of times now chased after lost causes and just made a nuisance of himself. What you need that work rate throughout the team. As I mentioned, Michael Carboni's comments before the game were full of praise for every player to a man in this side has that work rate. From your fullback to your striker, and when you have a team that works together like that, it's no surprise you make a final. No surprise they've started so well as well. There's Safali looking to get things going for Bayswater. Bit of a miscommunication, and Subi will take over again. Fantastic atmosphere here, isn't it, Tommy?
Yeah, it's just building as we touched on before. There's clearly a pocket of fans to the right clearing on Subi, and a good Bayswater following in as well.
Back pass back to Gilling and rolled back out to his fullback, Mabano. This time it's the Bayswater strikers' turn to put a bit of pressure on. Can't win possession. Mark Bowersash. We were just checking our team sheets to find out who the number 18 for Subiaco was. He's listed down on mine as number 8, but I was wondering why I hadn't called that name yet. Apparently one of the stars of this team. Scored in every round apart from the semi-final. Scored in the first, second and the quarterfinals for them. Take a little look at the run to the final for both sides. Subiaco's first round started with a smashing 4-0 win against Canning City. Bowersash, Barton, Barrera, Sobot with the goals that day. Then a 4-2 win over Rockingham. A 3-1 win in the quarterfinal against Morley Windmills, and then the penalty shootout against Sorrento. Bayswater, on the other hand, 3-1 over Armidale in the first round, and defeated Balcatta, and then a penalty shootout of their own against Joondalup. William Gallagher scoring very late to force extra time, and his side getting over the top on penalties, and then a big win in the semi-final against Perth SC. Just getting a little bit scrappy after that first 5 or 10 minutes of just intense battle.
Yeah, that gung-ho intensity is still there, but the pressing from both teams has been pretty good in the first 10 to 15 minutes or so. Subiaco started really well, as we touched on before, but you just get a sense of feeling that Bayswater are starting to put a few more passes together and starting to press, as we see here.
Yeah, good intensity again there from Bayswater. That's Corey McNellis, the workhorse we mentioned earlier for them. Subiaco this time almost coming away with it. And Barno puts a foot in. His pass is deflected out for a Bayswater throw, and they're attacking third. No real chances yet for either side. I think William Gallagher's tame effort, the only shot on target so far. Barno's throw in for Borich. Well played by Borich to hold off and switch the play. Here's Kelly. Oh, good little step from Kelly inside Carboni, and runs into that man Brock Bindle again, putting himself about. Here's Buddy Ashile, always dangerous, a pacey winger, and a great tackle there from Jonah Froman.
Explosive place there from Buddy Ashile, really driving down that Subiaco full-back position. A lot of what Bayswater have done well so far has come down this left-hand side. Declan Kelly's been really involved, and it's led to the first corner of the afternoon.
So, what can Bayswater come up with from their first corner? In swing up, front post, not a good one. Attempted hack away there by Bindell. Hint of a handball as the ball bounced up. Half-hearted appeals from the Bayswater attackers. Referee Bartush not interested. This time, that's a better corner. Right into the area, headed away. And chested down by Bindell and cleared. Tay can't make it stick, but Bowersash strides onto it, and he's going to run away from Kelly. Kelly sticks with him. Really good defending from Julian Kelly. Bowersash wouldn't give it up, though. And in the end, it ends up at the feet of Preston Gilling in the Bayswater net. A lot of support here for Subiaco, as you can hear the jeers as Gilling takes his long ball down the line. Flicked on, and another good physical battle there this time. It's Kelly with the throw. Borich twisting and turning. Eventually gets it out to McNellis. McNellis spreads it wide. This is Jerome West. West's cross is blocked, and another corner for Bayswater. Beautiful day for football at the moment. It was a chilly 13 degrees before. I think it's gone up a couple of degrees as the sun comes out and basks Inglewood Stadium. Kelly over to take the corner from the right this time. He's had a couple of cracks from the left, Bayswater. Here we go with the left footing in swinger. Another dangerous ball in. Punch there by Assumption and got just enough on it to get it wide of the near post.
Yeah, really difficult one for the goalkeeper, that one, with William Gallagher stood right in front of him. That crowd of sea of bodies in and around him, he did well to get the 2 fists on it in the end.
Yeah, Ian Boric just making a nuisance of himself there, and that one whipped in. Not as good as his first corner. It'll be a goal kick for Subiaco. Bit of a shame that one. They put a good amount of pressure on there, a good first corner. A few nerves in the Subiaco defence, you thought, and then you've really got to just get that one into a good area. Bit of a let-off. That one looks for Carboni. Jacob Carboni unable to keep that one in. His opposite number, Julian Kelly, will take the throw. Kelly for Boric. Boric just the wrong side of the line there. Subiaco throw.
Just like to see Subiaco put a few passes together, I think, Sean. They started really well, but they've just been hassled a little bit in recent minutes, and the game's just become a little bit bitty for them. They're trying to use the outlets down the flanks instead of maybe keeping the possession and just taking the sting out of Bayswater's press on the ball and their disrupting of the play. So hopefully for Subiaco's point of view, they can get a few touches on the ball and just settle this game down. It has been a hot pace, though, so far.
Certainly has. Full of intensity. Spasojevic looks long down the right wing. That'll be headed away by the Subiaco defence rather easily. Joel Garces, but only as far here as West. Looks to come inside, loses possession, and Subiaco take over. Long ball, take up, make it stick. That's disappointing for Subiaco when you're struggling to get possession. You get an open look, your striker in a bit of space. You just couldn't bring it down. His first touch let him down there. Harrison Tate. Preston Gilling again looking long. Flicked on well by Gallagher. Down for Boric, Badiashile. Badiashile looks inside for Boric, who fires and just wide. I'm not sure whether Assumption might have got a fingertip on that. I think it was curving away from the goal anyway, but making no assumptions on whether or not that was on target there, Tommy.
Yeah, the first meaningful save of the day, that one, Sean. A great piece of goalkeeping there by Assumption. He must have seen that one late, surely. It was arrowed into that corner, and the fingertips put it wide of the post. Great save.
Yeah, whether or not it would have crept into that bottom right corner, goalkeeper wasn't to know. Fantastic stretch and fingertip to make sure. Another corner there and another poor one from Bayswater. Cleared at the near post. He'll get another try.
Clearly a weakness or an area they've been looking to attack, Sean, because a lot of those set pieces have come firing in at that near post, so it's maybe something where they're trying to put the goalkeeper under a little bit of pressure early, and so far the delivery's not quite been on point, but they'll get another opportunity here.
Yeah, one of the common cries you hear at football games is to beat the first man on these set pieces, but it's not as easy as it looks when, if you want to score, you want to get it low and hard just like that. On top of Assumption, over his head and in. You have to say it's a mistake from the goalkeeper, but it is a goal for Bayswater. And I think Julian Kelly will be credited with it. We were just talking about firing them in, making it difficult for the goalkeeper, and that's exactly what happened there. It was right on his head. Tried to just turn it over the top and didn't get a hand on it.
Tough one for the goalkeeper there. They've been peppering that near post with those whipped-in swinging deliveries. That one, a little bit of a higher trajectory, a little more floated, and it carried itself all the way into the back of the net. Disappointing goal for Subiaco to concede, and Bayswater ahead and off here, Sean.
Just as I was saying, that's why it's not as easy as just saying, just beat the first man, because when you want to get a ball in and you want to give your team the best chance to score, it needs to be hard, it needs to have a bit of curve and pace on it. And that one did, and into a perfect area. It is a disappointing one for Samuel Assumption. I think he'll want to have that one back. Bayswater receive the reward that you would suggest their dominance is deserved. As flying in there is Harrison Tay in a challenge with Preston Gilling. Ball was there to be won. Another heavy clash. No one taking a backward step today, and Preston Gilling might be a little the worse for wear in the Bayswater goal. They're going to stop the play for a moment to get him checked out.
Yeah, tough collision there. Both players, eyes on the ball. Tay Harrison had every right to go for that one. It was there to be won. The height advantage there for the goalkeeper Gilling was always something that was always going to work in his favour. Possibly a little too strong in the challenge there in the end, Harrison, but every right to go for that ball, and probably the right decision from the referee.
It's always difficult when it's a forward and a goalkeeper. Like you said, he's entitled to go for it, but at some point maybe he has to realise that he can't win it when the goalkeeper is able to claim above his head. But it is just difficult for a striker, because what do? Do you just let it run? If the goalkeeper mishandles it, you want to be there. And certainly in a cup final, you wouldn't expect a player to back out of a challenge. Not the biggest man either, Harrison Tay. Fairly diminutive striker, Subiaco. Just showing that he's not going to be lacking in physicality. He got a little thumbs up over to the bench from him there, so I'm sure that that's what his coaching staff's telling him. That's what they want.
I did see the reserve goalkeeper was warming up out of the corner of my eye, Sean, but try telling any player that they want to be substituted, particularly in a cup final. It's very hard to convince them, but it looks as though Gilling's okay to continue, which is good news.
Yeah, certainly when you've just taken the lead. Noticed in the goal celebrations, he was all the way over to the bench up the other end of the field, Preston Gilling. Obviously very excited for his side to take the lead there. Bayswater plays it wide. Tay now on the ball, but unable to keep it in the field of play. (1-0) Bayswater, goal directly from a corner. I'm not sure whether the final touch was off a Subiaco player or it'll go down as a goal for the corner taker. There's a few players throw their bodies in there and Bayswater come away with it. It just looks like Bayswater starting to wrestle control of this game. Obviously the goal helps hugely. Subiaco still yet to fashion a real chance. Spasojevic wide for Mbano. Good header at the back there for Subiaco, but nipping in and taking the ball is McNellis. Cross into the box, cleared. Partially cleared. Becerra will take over for Subiaco and clear, looking in the direction of Bayswater. The Bayswater player gets there first, clears it out for a goal kick. Good tackle there from Bayswater. A chance here to make it 2-0. Looking to go around the goalkeeper there was William Gallagher, but a little slow and tackled there by Spasojevic. I do have to apologise. I've been calling Spasojevic on the wrong team sheet there. Ewan Blair it is at the back for Bayswater. My apologies to Ewan Blair. He's been involved a lot early. He's the skipper of this Bayswater side. There's always one, Tommy, always one that I read from the wrong team sheet. Here we are, another corner for Bayswater. Referee just calling a couple of players over. I'd suggest Orhan Boric just getting a little word about his physicality on the goalkeeper. He's got a close marker there, just trying to push him away and give Assumption a better jump at that. Another good ball into a good area. This time the punch is good enough to get it away. Still not as clean as you'd like. And a touch there by Safali, trying to get a shot on goal, unable to. McNellis fires and fires wide. Touch there again from Assumption on a ball going wide. This one, perhaps he could have let go. Not taking any chances
Delivery on point once again there from Julian Kelly, goalkeeper this time, getting both fists on it. Bayswater really cranking up the pressure, sensing their opportunity to possibly get a second.
Corey McNellis this time from the left. Right-footed in-swinger this one again, doesn't quite beat the first man. Sprawling header away here by Brock Bindell. Another ball into the box. This one a bit better. Clear to the back post. A chance. A strike. Scuffed there initially by Buddy Ashile. Comes back out. Fired back in. Safali. Cleared. And getting there first on the clearance is Jamie Kempson. Kempson looking for Tay, but cut out by the Bayswater captain, Ewan Blair.
Yeah, desperate defending there from Subiaco for the second time in a few minutes. Badia Shirley with a couple of efforts there, one nearly an acrobatic one as well, but yeah, Bayswater really growing into this game now.
Blair clears there over the head of Garces and picked up by Boric. Boric dancing around a few. Too many white shirts there for him to fashion a chance, but the ball comes now to Tate. Look to turn it around the corner first time there for Mark Bowersash. Steaming down the right wing there for Bayswater is Kempson. Good pace on the Bayswater number 10. That is the Subiaco number 10. That was Jerome West for Bayswater. Subiaco looked to come away with it and a little clip of the ankles.
I think that's what you call a tactical foul there, Sean, from Corey McNellis. He sensed that Subiaco had the opportunity to counter. There was a couple of players ahead of him and ahead of Bowersash, but McNellis ensured that was halted, and he'll just get a talking to the referee from the referee here. Not keen to get the cards out too early, clearly.
No, a little bit fortunate there, I'd say, not to go into the book. Here's my first correct call of Lazar Spazojevic. As the Subiaco man looks to get a ball into the box, it's cleared, but Froman takes over into another dangerous area, and Gilling had to be brave again. He's already had one heavy collision. On this occasion, you could see him get his body out of the way, out to the side, and get the hands on the ball. So down the line looking for Buddy Ashile. Not quite able to get him into the game yet. Obviously a focal point for Subiaco is keeping him quiet. Looking for Buddy Ashile again. He picks it up now. Towed down the line for Boric. Attempted cross blocked, and another Bayswater corner. Oh, goal kick, in fact.
Yeah, last touch there just off Boric as the cross came in from the number 9 and hit the Subiaco defender there, Spazojevic. A little bit unlucky, but once again, it's all coming down this left-hand side for Bayswater. Great play from Badia Shield to poke forward, and Subiaco having to defend well once more.
Tay and Haas both jumping for that one. Neither able to get a touch. Cleared, and Jonah Froman stepping forward to win that header. Another good physical challenge there. This time Jamie Kempson battling for it in the air with Mbano. Mbano wins it at ground level, and Bayswater take over. Look to go again. Buddy Ashile turning with that bit of pace that we mentioned before. Here he goes running away from Froman, but Froman not letting him get away that easily. Great tackle from the Subiaco defender.
Yeah, he said he was pacey, Sean. We saw another example again, but it's an excellent recovery there from Froman. He had to get the tackle right. He had to time it perfectly. Otherwise, it would have been a foul and what surely would have been a definite yellow card. So, good defending from Subiaco. They've had it tough in recent minutes, but they're holding their own for the moment.
Yeah, I think the strategy now for Subiaco is bend and don't break. Keep this lead at 1 as long as you can. Try and pinch one. It's the clearance there. Wasn't a good one, but the follow-up tackle was good. McNellis looking to get a ball in still. Gets a ball across the box, not into it. Good pressure there from Gaspar Becerra. And Bowersash unable to field that pass. Blair looks for his fullback, and good work there from Bowersash. winning it not once, not twice, but 3 times. Away comes Subiaco, and the final ball just lets Kapoor down. Haven't quite seen enough of Reece Kapoor and Jacob Carboni. The Subi coach telling me before the game that very good technical wingers have played a big role in getting them to this final. Just struggling to get involved as much as I'm sure Subiaco would like. Gee, those grey clouds have started to disappear, haven't they, Tommy? The sun is shining down.
After what we've seen in the last 2 weeks, Sean, I won't be speaking too early.
Yeah, I'm sure the rain's on the way. As I mentioned, it'll be a miracle if we get through without a drizzle or two today. But so far, so good in terms of the Perth weather gods. Here's Becerra. Again, looking for Tay. A couple of times they've looked for him with those long balls, Tommy, and just by eyeballing him, I don't think that would be the strategy that they'd be wanting to employ. It's that pass. Another stray one for Subiaco. Good touch by Buddy Ashile. Wasn't intended to be in the path of Boric, I'm sure, but it was. And Subi clear again. It's as much as they can do. Tay's interested. He's going to put pressure on Gilling again. Gilling just thumping it clear. Boric, great little toe there from the Bayswater number 9. Just to keep possession. Buddy Ashile looking to roll it there for Gallagher. It's behind him, and long ball for Tay. Again, in the air and unable to do much with it when you've got Ewan Blair, who's about a foot taller than him. A foot and change, I reckon. Buddy Ashile this time does toe it on for Gallagher. Here's the Bayswater leading scorer, tackled again. And again, it's Jonah Froman. And it'll be a goal kick. A couple of those from Froman, and he's pulled up a little bit there with a, I don't know whether it's just a cramp or a knock.
Yeah, well done from Froman. He's been busy in the past couple of minutes, and he just looks as though he needs to receive a little bit of attention. Looks to be just rubbing that knee a little bit. Not sure if there was a bit of a clash when the legs came together from both players. Just to touch on Subiaco's front line, Sean, one of the things that they were doing in the early part of the game was Kapoor and Carbone were getting forward, and they were trying to press higher up the pitch, and they've just had to sink back in the past sort of 10-15 minutes or so, and that's meant that Tay Harrison really has been feeding off scraps essentially, because they're not getting the ball through him to feet as much.
Yeah, it's been very difficult for him leading the line in the last 10-15 minutes. Harrison Tay, that's, as I've mentioned a couple of times, long high balls that much smaller than his defenders that he's up against. And as you say, I'm sure he'd prefer to have it to feet. This one, again, over his head, cleared by Blair. Headed back down the line, wide of Tay. Blair clears again. Can Subiaco conjure up a little spell of possession here? Chip down the line, looking for Carboni, but again, it's stray. Bindell mopping up there. Here's a chance for Subiaco to get on the ball in there. Attacking third. Carboni leaves it for Bindell, who can't keep it in. Bayswater take over again. Really starting to assert their dominance. The black and blue shirts. Julian Kelly, the goal scorer, with the throw. Headed in for Bowersash. Toes it on, intended for Kempson. But Gallagher mops up. Kapoor with the throw for Subi. Down the line, headed out. They'll gain 15 yards. Just really need to try and take control of this game in midfield. Subiaco there getting overrun a little. You mentioned that midfield setup earlier on in the game. The one holder versus the two, and Bayswater certainly winning that battle at the moment. Jonah Froman is back up and about. Subiaco right back. A little clash of knees earlier, but he looks okay to continue. Becerra Fizzing one forward to absolutely no one. They really just cannot get 2 or 3 passes in a row, Subiaco, at the moment. Good challenge there. That was Spasojevic for Subiaco. Getting a good head on that, opposed to Boric. Jerome West spent it before he had it there.
I think he's lost his headband there, Spasojevic. I think that came flying off when they went up for that aerial challenge. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back and grabs that in the next minute or two, or whether it's written off for the time being.
Yeah, we'll put you on headband watch for now, Tommy. Let us know. I'm sure we're waiting with bated breath. Haas looks to smash that one forward. Takes a little deflection, but Bayswater pick it up again. Here's Kelly. Picked off there by, sounds like another fan favourite for Subiaco, Jacob Carboni. And thank you, Tommy. He has retrieved that headband from the Inglewood Stadium turf. Spasojevic will be able to continue now. Throw from Kelly. Buddy Ashile can't make it stick, and it'll be a Subiaco throw. Boric looks to apply a bit of pressure and just about almost snatches possession off of Spasojevic. Long throw down the line over the head of Bindel. Bowersash leaves it for Bindel, who finds Carboni. That's better from Subiaco. Bit of attacking thrust. Good diagonal runs. And throw from Carboni for Bindel, who's not going to let Safali wriggle away that easily, and they pinch it. Here's that high press we saw early on in the game. Again, a mistake, a deflection. It's going to come to Tay. He has his arm tugged there a little by Haas, and the referee lets it go, but Subiaco win a corner.
Yeah, good chasing there from Tay, the coach. Just revving up the Subiaco crowd for this set piece. Much better, though.
Certainly the fan favourites here today, the maroon and white. Another left-footed in-swinger. Headed on target, saved. Wonderful save by Preston Gilling. I didn't see who got the header, Tommy. Maybe you got an eye on it, but what a wonderful save that is from the Bayswater goalkeeper to keep this lead intact.
Oh, I think it was Froman in there, Sean. It was a crowd of bodies in there in the area. Magnificent save from Gilling, though. A big, strong arm. And saving Bayswater's lead.
Here's Buddy Ashile now going the other way for Bayswater. Sliding tackle. Nowhere near it, I thought. Gaspar Becerra. The referee happy to allow that one to go. I think it'll be a Subiaco throw or a free kick. Sure yet, it will be a Bayswater throw in. But just going back to that save, Preston Gilling, I was certain we were going to see the net bulge there, and even after he got that strong hand on it, it felt like it could have gone anywhere. Just did such a good job to keep that ball away from his goal. Lofted ball into the area there by McNellis, handled comfortably by Assumption. Assumption's going to look long and high again for Harrison Tay. Just feel for him getting all these long balls on his head, headed away easily. Again by the Bayswater defence, and here's a chance now for Tay at ground level to run. Looks to step inside Kelly. And the Bayswater goal scorer strides away, looks at Buddy Ashile. Acrobatic overhead kick there from Bindel. Brings the crowd to their feet. More flashy than effective, but certainly raised the decibel level here at Inglewood Stadium. Picking up at ground level now for Bayswater is William Gallagher. What can the Bayswater top scorer do opposed to Jamie Kempson? Not a lot. Good defending there from the Subiaco number 10. Throw down the line. Dealt with by Blair. Bringing it down well is Safali. Spreading it wide for West. His ball into the box. Looking for Borich. Headed away. Back out for McNellis. Safali coming back to his centre half, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Wanted the ball back from Gilling there, but Gilling looks long. Borich does well to bring it down, opposed to Spasojevic, but the long clearance is cleared by Ewan Blair, the Bayswater skipper. It's been a reasonable 5 or 10 minutes for Subiaco, just starting to get a bit more possession in their final third and providing a bit of danger. Of course, they're so close to going ahead, or going level with that header from Froman, but the wonderful save from Gelling, keeping Bayswater's slender lead intact. It is Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0. Goal from Julian Kelly direct from the corner. Subiaco looking to get a bit of forward pressure going again. Missed clearance there from Safali, but turns around and tries to take it away himself. Has his heels clipped. Ewan Blair for Bayswater to get us restarted. Been happy to play these long balls, Bayswater, since they've taken the lead. This time it shorter. Finds Mbano, who goes wide for, I think, West. Cross into the box, dealt with by Bindell. Comes back out to McNellis.
Just leant back on that one a little bit there, McNellis. The space opened up for him. He had every right to take that one on. He obviously tried to pick out that top corner and just got under it. But Subiaco, as you said before, Sean, they just had a period where they were looking like getting back into the game, and Bayswater have gone up the other end and created a chance and look as though they've resettled again.
Subiaco will take the throw on the far side. Long for Bowersash. Over his head. Tay will pick it up at ground level. Turn it around the corner. Looking for Binzel. Or Kempson, I think it was, rather. There is Jamie Kempson. Looking to roll it into the path of Kapoor. A little heavy for him. Abdul Mbano will jog over to collect and take the throw. Well, not long to go now in this first half, just a few minutes plus stoppage time. And Subiaco winning a free kick on the far side in a good area, a good chance to get numbers forward. Chance for Froman to get his head on another one. Spasojevic. Subi. Look to clip a ball into the box, a chance. Offside for Spasojevic. We get a couple of conflicting reports on our team sheets of Harrison Tay or Tay Harrison. We'll figure out for you at half-time. Either way, he's been isolated. He's had a difficult job. I think he's performed well.
Really good from Bayswater's defence there, actually, Sean. The free kick was taken short, but Bayswater were really alert and pushing out quickly to make sure that the defenders that had stayed forward for Subiaco were offside, like Subiaco, as we saw in that instance there.
Yeah, fantastic organisation for such a young side to have these kids able to work together like that. It obviously shows that well trained, well drilled. Obviously, you'd expect that from a club like Bayswater City right the way through. And those few minutes I mentioned earlier are up. It is into stoppage time. There will be 2 minutes. Still time for either of these sides to pinch a goal and change the half-time team talks. I think Bayswater will be in no rush to take this. Julian Kelly standing over it, looking to double the Bayswater lead. Soak up a few seconds. Kelly curls it in. Good area. Boric heads it down. Headed away by Subiaco. Bowersash clears and Tay will pick up. Isolated again, but wins it at ground level. Lovely work from Harrison Tay as he strides away from the chasing Bayswater shirts. A little overhit that touch and just allowed the defender in to make the tackle. Bindell again there, not taking a backward step. We've come to expect that in the first 45. Continues now, he has to chase Buddy Ashile. That's not an easy task. Foot in there from Froman slowed him down, but concedes a free kick right on halfway. Just limping a little bit gingerly there, Samuel Buddy Ashile. Not sure whether it was the knock he took on that occasion for the free kick. And it looks like Bayswater will go in with at least a 1-goal lead. Kelly looking to put a ball into the box to help Bayswater extend it here. Assumption came, but he got nowhere near it. Back out to McNellis. Rolls it out there for West. Flag stays down. West ball over the head of Boric. Cleared by Froman. Back out. Unable to get there for the strikers, Safali. And that is the half-time whistle from Kai Bartush. Well, it was an energetic first half from both sides. Bayswater just starting to win the arm wrestle towards the end. What are your takeaways from that first half, Tommy Dolman?
I thought Subiaco started really the game. Both teams, in fact, really good intensity in the early stages, but Bayswater gradually gained control of the game. I've loved McNellis' game in the middle of the park. I thought he was a big reason as to why Bayswater were able to swing things in their favour, and a lot of their good work came down that left-hand side. Kelly's been magnificent for me, and it's probably a fair scoreline based on the balance of the chances.
Well, the only goal direct from a corner from Julian Kelly sees us go into halftime here at Inglewood Stadium in the 18s Cup final with the score Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0. welcome back to Inglewood Stadium. Second half of this state under-18s cup final between Bayswater and Subiaco. Currently the score, Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0. Courtesy of a first half Julian Kelly goal in the 20th minute, direct from a corner. That's the only scoring so far. I'm Sean Fry. I'll be calling the last 45 plus stoppage time and potentially penalties for you, joined by Tommy Dolman. Tommy, entertaining first half, but what does Subiaco have to do to get themselves back into this?
I think they just need to bring that intensity that they started the game with, Sean. They started really well, and they've got an opportunity now.
Over on the far side, mistake at the back by Kelly. Just allows Subiaco in. But unable to make it stick there. Jacob Carboni, his first chance of the second half. We did have a half-time substitution there. Tommy Jethro Haas being replaced by the man so nice they named him twice, a Yok. He looks like he's going to slot straight into centre half alongside Ewan Blair. Or perhaps he's the fullback actually just tucking in on this near side.
Yeah, it looks as though Abdul Mbano, who was playing at right back in the first half, has just cut into the middle, and that's allowed Ayok to play in the right back position.
It's an error there from Safali, just gives Subiaco possession and a chance running onto it now for Kapoor. His ball into the box, dealt with by the man you were just mentioning, and a little aerial battle there, won initially by Jamie Kempson. Couldn't win it at ground level though, and McNellis comes away, only momentarily though. Here's a chance for Subiaco again. They've started really well in this second half. Bindell rolling it out for Carboni.
A little bit of a repeat of how the first half started, Sean. Subiaco really getting in the faces of Bayswater from the off, and it'll be interesting to see whether they can sustain that for a little bit longer than they did in the first half when Bayswater eventually got control of the game.
If it does get late and the scoreline stays as it is or remains close, Subiaco do have a bit of firepower on the bench. Michael Carboni before the game mentioned particularly Bojan Sobot, the flamboyant Serb as he was described. As Subiaco look forward, chance here for Kapoor to get a ball into the box. He can't quite do that. Ball into the side netting, Bayswater goal kick.
Yeah, disappointing delivery there. He had two players steaming through the middle. He had both Tay and Bausash just both driving into that 6-yard area, and a better delivery there may have led to an equaliser. Interesting to see Bausash has just moved a little bit more centrally at the start of this second half. Sean, he was predominantly on that left wing in the opening 45.
Moletsi Safali down and struggling in the Bayswater penalty box, and it looks like they will be making a substitution. I'm not sure whether that is due to the injury or a pre-planned sub, but it'll be Samir Hurani coming on, I think. Did have a quick word with all the Bayswater substitutes at half-time and asked them who was going to come on and score a goal, and they all pretty conclusively said all of them. So expect a few goals in the second half. I'm not sure whether it'll be Safali to be replaced. We'll await confirmation from the fourth official, Alex Wright. It will be Safali to come off. Whether or not that was planned or due to the injury, it was very quickly done.
He looks to be okay though, Safali. He's walked off. He doesn't look in too much discomfort. Maybe it's a case of better safe than sorry, and in the midfield maybe they're just wanting to get those fresh legs running through there after Subiaco's good start.
Gilling with the long goal kick. Tay again fighting for it at ground level. He's been tenacious all game, leading the line for Subiaco, often without a lot of support. Boric, lovely touch from the Bayswater number 9. Spreads it wide for Buddy Ashile, and Buddy Ashile can stride in. Good tackle there at the back. Froman again, he's put in a few of those today, and Buddy Ashile versus Froman again. This time Froman goes to ground and Buddy Ashile's got a chance to pick someone out. The box is cleared, smashed across the 6-yard box and away. Back out to Ewan Blair, who cools things down a little bit. Spreads it wide for Mbano. His pass is errant. Subiaco can go the other way. Tay looking to get forward, but the pass doesn't find him. In the end, it's going to roll and roll and roll, and it'll be a Bayswater goal kick.
Once again, Brady Ashillo, a real bright spark down that left-hand side, driving into the area, taking on the full-back. A little unlucky with the cross. It was the right idea, and then the clearance up in the air. Kelly once again getting forward as well, as we've seen him do all game. He's been a superb outlet down this left-hand side. I picked him out as a player I really enjoyed watching in that first half. And with a little bit more composure there, he may have been able to either pick out the shot on target or a pass for a teammate.
Carboni just getting it in the way of that long ball from Gilling, and ball finds its way all the way back to the Bayswater keeper, who played a big role in keeping this lead intact, Tommy. That first half save from the header by Jonah Froman. Here's Ewan Blair. For Ayok, he looks for a teammate in his fellow substitute Hirani. Bayswater going forward again. Berich setting his sights on goal, and Samuel Badiashile making the point that perhaps rolling the ball into his path would have been the better option than going for goal himself. Now he needs to close down, puts enough pressure on for the turnover to be forced. McNellis. Back for Mbano. He goes all the way back to Gilling. Look for Bayswater to try and take the sting out of this game in the second half. You've already seen a couple of substitutes. I'd expect them to be dotted throughout just to kill any momentum that Subiaco might be building. You mentioned earlier in that first half there was a free kick where the offside trap was played to perfection by these young Bayswater side, and that level of professionalism, I'm sure, extends throughout the club. And they'll be doing all they can to maintain this lead, or perhaps extend it, as Kelly turns around one of your players of the first half. And Bayswater doing just what I mentioned, taking the sting out, trying to control possession. Ayok looking into midfield, having his arm pulled there a little was Hirani. Not enough to justify a free kick in the eyes of Kai Bartush, and Bayswater again mop it up, and again back to Gilling, and again just slowing things down. Back out to Ayok. Don't think I'll ever get sick of saying that name, Tommy, in this second half. Hint of a handball there in midfield for Bayswater. It's not going to matter as Subiaco come away with it. Here's Harrison Tay roaming into a bit of space. Rolls it now for Bindell, who in the end couldn't find a teammate. And Tay's touch good enough there to take him away from pressure, but his pass not good enough.
Oh, so unfortunate there for Tay. He did all the hard work. He came inside, and Subiaco did have that overlap down the right-hand side. Carbone was in an acre of space, but they just couldn't quite toe that pass through to him from beyond that Bayswater back four. So a little bit unlucky there from Subiaco, who continue to show signs and are far from out of this game at the moment.
Yeah, the thoughts going into this game, obviously, the MPL side in Bayswater with the more technical, talented players at Subi, we're going to have to really match it for enthusiasm and effort, and they really have so far. It's a disappointing goal for them to concede. I'm sure the Subiaco goalkeeper would have loved to have that one back and do better, and really the best chance of the game has come from the head of Jonah Froman, whose powerful header was kept out well by the ex-Glory goalkeeper, Preston Gilling. Swung across the box there by Gallagher. Probably haven't seen as much of William Gallagher as Bayswater would like. They've done reasonably well to keep a tight leash on him. Ayok back to Blair. Back across, as continuing this pattern of possession, patience. But Subiaco have had a couple of moments where they've nipped a toe in and looked like they'd be able to spring a counter of some sort, but not quite being able to make those 2-3 passes consecutively stick. And the effort's there, just not quite the quality yet, but that's a good touch from Harrison Tay. for Bindell, but nowhere for him to go, really, surrounded by black and blue shirts, and he's done well enough to win a free kick. That was about all you could ask from the Subiaco number 16. Shouts from the Subiaco fans to get Lazar Spasojevic into the box. That's exactly where he's gone. One staying up for Bayswater. Ball in. Doesn't clear the first man, headed away by Harani. Buddy Ashile missing the ball there, and Bindell throwing his weight around as he's done all game. And all Bayswater can do is concede a throw in for Subiaco. They're just starting to turn the screw here, get a bit of sustained possession in their attacking third. Subiaco, big switch. Ayok out to close down the Subiaco man. That's Kapoor. Strides around him rather easily in the end, and a touch back, a little errant from Gallagher. He offers a hand of apology to his teammates, and Gilling thumps it forward, skimming off the head of Boric. Assumption taking a loose first touch, but then deals with it well. Spasojevic now with the ball back in the back four, looking to play that one over the top for Kapoor. Brought down really well by Reece Kapoor. Such a shame that the assistant's flag is up on the far side. He was offside when the ball was played. And again, there's that professional line from Bayswater. They've been so good at the back, haven't they, Tommy, in this first half and change?
They have, yeah. They've largely diffused most of the Subiaco attacks that have unfolded in the game. Aside from that set-piece effort that you mentioned before, that wonderful save from Gilling, in generally an open play, they've managed to deal with the pace of Harrison Tay fairly well, and the wingers have drifted out of the game a little bit as the game has unfolded. They'll be desperate to get them more involved as it wears on.
Here's a chance at Bayswater. Couldn't get the ball out there for the run of Gallagher. It will come to Gallagher now, will it? No. Good work there in midfield from Jamie Kempson, turning the ball over, but Subi turned it over again. Now Gallagher does get on the ball. Steps around one and rolls it back for Ayok. Back for Gallagher. Ayok continues his run, picks it up now, and goes by Kempson, gets the ball across the box, cut out and cleared. Good spell here for Bayswater. Just pushing Subi back. McNellis driving forward there, leaving it for Buddy Ashile. Buddy Ashile steps around one, steps around two, and wins his side a free kick.
Crucial foot in there by Spasojevic there. Great play by Ayota on the right-hand side. And both Harani and Boric were lurking you behind there. Without that boot in there, it would have been a most likely second goal there for Basie. So Subiaco once again, that rear guard standing tall, but they've got a free kick to defend here, which Badiashile looks like he's going to take.
And we mentioned the Bayswater defence. You'd have to say that the Subiaco back four has been every bit as good. Very unfortunate style of goal to concede. Not really anyone you can point the finger at in terms of the defenders. As Badiashile stands over this, looks like he's going to go direct on goal. He attempted to go direct on goal anyway. It flashes wide of the far post. Not a million miles away, but Subiaco keep the deficit at one for now. Spasojevic looks long and looks too long. And Bayswater throw. It's been a bit of a seesawing second half, mostly controlled by Bayswater, just happy to keep possession, knock it around the back, kill a bit of clock and take the sting out. And that's what they'll, I'm sure, do here. Good spell of possession, and then in fact, they look long, and Spasojevic towers over to win the header. Comes down to Badiashile, and he wins his side a throw-in. Julian Kelly out there to take the throw for Bayswater. West comes short, he ignores that. Long for Boric. Ball popped up off an arm, and handball called by Kai Bartush.
Subiaco just mixing things up a little bit, it looks like here. It looks as though Harrison Tay's come out to this left-hand side, possibly to get a little bit more involved with the ball to feet, and Kapoor has now come centrally. So Subiaco trying to mix it up a little bit in that final third to cause Bayswater a problem or two.
Yeah, I like the change. It did feel a lot in that first half like Harrison Tay was having an uphill battle with all the long balls played on to his head, but he worked really hard, and this switch obviously out to the wing, as you said, a chance for him to get the ball to his feet a little more. We'll let Reece Kapoor deal with the long balls for a few minutes. I'll tell you what, I am ready for an eruption if Subiaco do score. Tommy, their fans over to our right. Made a lot of noise all game. If they find the back of the net, I'm sure there will be a cacophony of noise.
A big club here, Subiaco, a big junior group that they've got in terms of the teams. They've also got a team in the NPL WA women's competition as well, very well followed. As you can probably hear to the right, they've brought a good following, and they really get out there and support their teams, as do Bayswater, who of course are playing in the 20s straight after this game as well. So reason for them to stay as part of the double header.
Bayswater again with possession at the back again, all the way back to Gilling. Rolling it back out for Mbano. Pushed into centre half for this second half with the arrival of Iokiok. I'll mention Bojan Sobot, the potential substitute for Subiaco goal scorer. They've also got Matt Barton, who scored in the first round and in the quarterfinals. So players that do know where the back of the net is and know how to find it on the bench for Subiaco. So the longer this stays at one, I'm sure the likelihood of seeing them on the pitch increases. Trying to take on Harrison Tay, and unable to beat him there is William Gallagher. Harrison Tay doing his defensive duties now on the wing there.
First time we've really seen Gallagher cause Subiaco's defence a few problems in the second half after a pretty bright period for himself earlier in the half. Once again, though, Kelly getting forward from full back, providing that width, getting those crosses into the area and putting Subiaco's defence under a little bit of heat.
Yeah, he's been superb today. Not just with the goal, of course. This all-around game has been fantastic, and here's a chance for him to put another one into the box. Not his best effort. Of course, it was the first half he had an effort like that, and then the next one found its way into the Subiaco goal. So watch out if you give him another corner. Free kick in midfield for Subiaco.
I should really stop praising players so I don't curse them, Sean.
It's just our job, Tommy. It's a commentator's curse is never going to go away. As Kempson picks it up in midfield for Subi. Good ball in, and a chance here for Salbashan off the top of the bar, Bawasash rather. Well, out of nothing, the long ball forward from Subiaco. Mark Bawasash ends up on the end of it, and Preston Gilling in no man's land, and the effort so close, skimming off the top of the crossbar.
Oh, it was a lovely weight on the pass from Gasper Becerra to just pick that ball out. The run was forward from Bawasash, and it just wouldn't come down for him in time. It stayed a little bit in the air for too long. He then had to take it under a bit of pressure and lifted it onto the top of that crossbar. Ever so unlucky, and Subiaco with two great chances and could arguably be level here.
And what did I say about seeing Bojan Sobot and Matt Barton before too long? Here they are, both coming on. Double substitution for Subiaco. Jamie Kempson being replaced, and also Jacob Carboni. So this is the man. This is the man that they mentioned in the first half and before the game. Michael Carboni described him as his flamboyant Serb, the goal scorer. Threat off the bench. Here he is, the number 7, joined by Matt Barton. Matt Barton will be over here on the near side. Looks like both of the substitutes here now. First involvement there for Barton. And a good foot in there from Becerra. Gives Barton something to run onto. Couldn't keep possession, and Bayswater with a chance to go the other way now. Good battle there. Sensational work from Samir Harani. He finds Boric. Boric will look wide for Gallagher. And getting there first is Reece Kapoor to clear. Subiaco fans making a bit of noise. I'm sure excited about the introduction of Barton and Sobot. What can they do to get the equalising goal for Subiaco? Ball comes out forward now for Bayswater. Good work again from Bindell. Becerra's ball forward, ill-directed, but Bayswater wins it and looks to find Tay. Ewan Blair just clears for Bayswater. Subiaco throw. Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0. Thank you for joining us on the Football West live streams on YouTube and Facebook. Sean Fry calling the action with Tommy Dolman. Subiaco pressing for an equaliser here. Reminder, if you didn't hear at half-time, if it is level after the 90, it will go straight to penalties. No extra time in this fixture. As Gallagher wins a throw-in for Bayswater. Ayok over to take the throw. Bayswater looking to double their lead. Barrett's just retreating there. The pass couldn't find him and it gives away a foul. Still yet to see Bojan Sobot get a chance to insert his influence on the game. Subiaco have a throw here. And the two substitutes, the nearest to it. Long throw over the top is for Sobot. He does get his first touch, but the referee's whistle is going to stop him in his tracks. Throw in taken a little too far forward, I think. Kapoor with the ball in his hands. Long again for Sobot. Here is his first touch. A good touch, ball in. Curling towards the goalkeeper. A bit of a spark there. Just getting his first little possession, stepping inside a man, putting it into a dangerous area.
Yeah, right idea there from Sobot. Trying to pick out the midfield runner who was making his way through the centre of the penalty area, but just a little bit too much power on the pass, and good reading of the play from Gilling as well.
Just looking to get Bowersatch in behind there, but Ewan Blair will get over there and attempt to see it out. That'll be a corner. Not sure what the Bayswater skipper was thinking there. It never looked like it had the legs to roll out for a goal kick. Just welcome a little bit of pressure on it. You do need to be careful in these situations with a one-goal lead. You don't open the door, and Ewan Blair has opened the door a little bit there for Subiaco. Just a crack, corner. Just one back for Bayswater. That's Boric on halfway. Ball into the box, over the head of everyone. Headed down and off target by Lazar Spasojevic. Well, what a chance that was at the back post.
He was just off balance there, I think, as he got the head on the ball there, Sean. He read that so well. A lovely set play there from Subiaco, who released the man to the back post. It was the big centre-half, Spasojevic, and then he just lost his balance a little bit as he was trying to stretch for it, and that didn't quite allow him to generate the power that he needed to test the goalkeeper. Unlucky once again for Subi, though.
Yeah, just a yard too long probably for him in the corner. Just always hard when you're backpedaling to get those balls on target. I think if he had have managed to get it back on net, it may have found its way in. I think Gilling was scrambling. But a good chance for Subi. And a good spell for them as they pick up possession again here. Long ball looking there for Bayswater, headed away by Ewan Blair, who yells at his teammates that he wants support for the second balls, and Buddy Ashile takes a touch around Froman, takes another touch beyond Harrison Tay, who clips the Bayswater wingers' wings, and we will have a free kick in a pretty dangerous area here for Bayswater.
He's had the ball on a string whenever he's got that space down that left-hand side, hasn't he, Sean? That explosive pace, we've seen it so often, and he's a big threat here as Bayswater look to try and get that second goal to put the game to bed once and for all.
Yeah, you'll be looking for Bayswater to, as I've mentioned several times already, try and kill the game. And Buddy Ashile and Gallagher will definitely be their outlets down the wing. Subiaco need to be very aware of those on the counter-attack. Subiaco need to hold out here. Ball into the box, flicked on target, and straight into the grateful arms of Samuel Assumption. It was Samir Hirani, the substitute, just turning that one on goal. As Assumption looks long, difficult one to deal with here for a Yoki. He'll be under pressure. Good pressure there from that. Well, no surprise that the player being substituted is on the far side of the pitch, so they can soak up as much time as possible. But I'm a little bit surprised as to who it is, Tommy. Samuel Badiashile making way for Kai Tarode.
Yeah, Badiashile's had a great game. He's been one of the best players on the pitch for mine. He's looked dangerous every time he's picked up the ball. I'm surprised, like you say, Sean, because he loomed as a real counter-attacking outlet, which is what Bayswater are going to need for the final 10 to 15 minutes. But the coach has opted that some fresh legs are preferred on that side of the ground, and we don't know whether it's something where Badiashile is maybe a little bit tired after putting in such a big shift today.
Hint of a foul throw there, but play on's the call. Poor touch at the back, just let Subi in. But well done making up for his own mistake there. Julian Kelly hasn't made many mistakes today, and when he has, he's more often than not mopped it up. Barrett's just harassing Lazar Spasojevic there. I knew that'd get me tongue-tied at some point today. Just leaning on the wrong side of the referee's rulebook there. Subiaco free kick, really poor ball. Just gives a chance there for Gallagher, but he's unable to make Subiaco pay. Kapoor just looking to roll it down the line. Bayswater take over. Poor touch initially from Harani. Subiaco will take over now. Harrison Tay does well. Good use of the body there on Kelly. And he goes forward with a bit of pace, looking to get a ball in. A good sliding tackle. But giving away a foul. Catching too much of the man there in the eyes of Kai Bartush was the Bayswater player, Jerome West, on the tackle.
Substitutions from Subiaco have really been good. They've given them that extra bit of a pep for the final quarter of an hour or so, but Tay's been the outlet throughout the whole game. He's the one that's been stretching the defence. He's the one looking to pick the ball up and run with it and take on Bayswater's back line, and he's earned a free kick here in a good position.
Yes, Spasojevic and Froman make their way forward again. Bowersash in the box too, along with the substitutes. Sabot and Barton. And just lurking on the edge of the area is Gaspar Becerra. The ball in to the back post. Rising on target this time from Spasojevic, and just not enough power to beat Preston Gilling, who releases quickly. Looking for this counter-attack we mentioned that will be dangerous in these final few minutes of William Gallagher. Berich looking to switch it. Blocked and partially cleared. Looking for Gallagher again, but cut out on this occasion by Becerra. And a chance there for Kapoor to release Subi, but he's harassed off the ball by Corey McNellis. He's skipping inside initially the defender Froman, but got a good foot on it there, and Subiaco can go the other way. Here's Bowersash. Just looking long this time for the run, I believe, of Matt Barton. Cross was blocked.
Twice now that Spasojevic just before has one headed from a corner there, Sean. I'm wondering whether it'd be interesting to see whether Ewan Blair takes him at the next set piece, given they have a similar height, and Spasojevic, though, looming, particularly if these set pieces come thick and fast late on, as a big threat.
Assumption looks long. Sobot just muscled off it. Berich at ground level, looking to turn. He was hauled down. Orhan Boric just using all of his physicality and a good bit of experience from the young man there to just win his side a foul. Dangerous area. Another 30 seconds off the clock. Another chance to double the lead and probably win this game for Bayswater. Fires it into the 6-yard box. It comes there for a chance and a clearance. It was Harani that couldn't get a strike on goal. He's been dangerous when those balls have come into the box. It's the second time he's found himself with a chance to score. Just couldn't get a foot on that one. And a turnover here. Gallagher rolls it for Boric. Back to Gallagher. Gallagher back for Boric. Boric. Still Boric, muscled off it by Spasojevic, and Subiaco can go. Tay with just Bowersash ahead of him. Beautiful pass from Harrison Tay, but Bowersash was a little slow getting there. They're going to go all the way back to Gilling. Pressured by Barton. Long ball in the air for Borich to win. No one wins it cleanly. A chance for Bayswater now. Here's the substitute looking to get a ball across the 6-yard box. Spasojevic there again, as he's been for most of the day. Harrison Tay picks it up, but no one there down the line. I think he was looking to take a touch and run, but was a little heavy. Good work there from Harani to hold off a challenge and find a teammate. Gallagher again in space, but the pass can't find him. Chance for Subiaco now to go the other way. The touch was just not quite there from Barton. And the clearance down the line from Mbano. And another substitution for Subiaco. It'll be Fidi Naim. As we head towards the end of this one, Reece Kapoor will be replaced. Naim looking to go straight onto the shoulder there of the last man. So the changes have been made. Subiaco throwing everything at this. Borich plays it back there for Terode, and then has to hustle over there to put a bit of pressure on and try and win his side the ball. Subiaco do come away with it. Spasojevic looking for Bowersash. It comes back to the Subiaco defence, and Becerra back for a long ball in the direction of Tay again. Tay doing battle there with Kelly. Kelly, lovely work there initially from the Bayswater man to get by Tay, but then gives it away. Becerra toes it there for Sobot. Bojan Sobot back for Froman. Sobot again. Nifty little dribbler when he gets on the ball, but took a little bit too much on there. Chance here for Subiaco, and the strike was partially blocked. It was the substitute, Naim, with a chance. And just an outstretched foot there from the defender, Tommy. It may have saved Bayswater's lead.
It was a simple thing from Abdul and Barno there, but he had two small efforts there, both provided to be big in the wider context, as he got blocks in on both occasions and thwarted that Subiaco attack once again.
Ewan Blair retreating there under pressure from Tay. Deciding that on this occasion, discretion is the better part of valour. Not trying to shepherd this one over the line as he did earlier. He just put a foot through it and get it out. But Subiaco turning the screw. Flicking off the head there. Only a partial clearance by Kelly. Does come out now. Back to Tay, and a good tackle there from the substitute, Kaita Road. What can Michael Carbone's side do in these final minutes? They have been pressing. They've created chances. This one is cleared by Blair. But Subiaco will pick it up again at the back. Spasojevic drops the shoulder and steps by one. Steps by another and rolls it out into the path of Tay. Tay's ball into the box. Blocked and out for another Subiaco corner. Brilliant second half here from Subiaco. Refusing to give up. Harrison Tay rather, over to take another corner for Subiaco. Spasojevic has got his head on a couple of these. This time it's the Bayswater number 2, Ewan Blair. And here's the run of Gallagher, and that is a wonderful, wonderful foul from Mark Bowersash. Incredibly smart stuff, Tommy. That's the classic orange card there.
Well, it's a wonderful foul for Subiaco. I'm not sure Bayswater fans will agree with you, Sean. That was as cynical as they come. Look, it was a foul that had to be made. They were 2-on-1 there, had play unfolded there for Bayswater. And look, it's one that's probably an orange card if you're trying to grade them, Sean. But a foul that had to be made in order for Subiaco to stay in this game, I feel.
Yeah, I'm standing by my comment. That is a wonderful foul in the centre of midfield when you're 1-0 down, and The opposition streaming away, looking like doubling that lead. You take the yellow card there all day. You probably frame it if you go on to win this game. Ewan Blair for Bayswater with the resultant free kick. Just lofts that one. I think looking for the header, Boric. It headed away. Back down to the man who was fouled recently, William Gallagher. It'll be a Subiaco throw. Good defending there from Joel Garces. And a booking picked up there by William Gallagher. And he's loving the noise from the Subi fans, Tommy. Fantastic atmosphere. I've mentioned it a few times already. He's still going. Matt Barton coming short, asking for the throw. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle. It does go in the direction of Barton, nudged under it by Gallagher, will give away a foul, and that'll draw some more cheers from the Subiaco faithful. A lot of space on the far side for an early switch. Spasojevic looks exactly for that. Here go the Lions. Can they find that equalising goal? Harrison Tate rolls it for Bowersash. Chance to get a ball in. Does get a ball in. Oh, the touch wasn't quite good enough. Sabot couldn't get it done at ground level and headed away by Blair. I think the referee might have missed the kick after the action there. Potential foul, and that one might be, would have been close to offside on Bowersash when the ball came in. Back out to Bowersash from Bindle. Ball in, back towards Brock Binzel and cleared again and out to Fedi Naim. Came to him earlier in the box, just couldn't quite get a shot on goal. Now he looks to dance around Jerome West and loses the ball over the line, and Bayswater will breathe a sigh of relief. A lot of pressure being applied by Subiaco here in these dying stages. And what did I say will happen every time Subiaco started blowing pressure, Tommy? Bayswater substitution.
Yeah, you spotted that one before me, Sean, I must admit. We spoke about it at the start of the half and at the start of the first half as well. It was the Subiaco pressure that was needed to rustle and hustle the NPL side, and they're certainly delivering it. Bayswater probably dropping a little bit deeper, understandably so, as they try to secure the game a little bit more and wrap it up, but Subiaco definitely putting all the pressure on, and I think the highlights are going to be to the left of your screen as the game unfolds now.
Abdul Mambano being replaced there by Jack Roberts. It's Tay on the ball again. He's been heavily involved in these last few minutes. Bowersash too. Looking for Fedi Naim. Ball doesn't reach him. And it's back towards Bowersash. He'll hustle and almost keep it alive. And the ball just crossing the line. Yeah, Willie Hurd ringing the changes, the Bayswater coach, in this second half. Every 5 or 10 minutes or so, particularly when Subiaco start getting on top, just gives his side a breather. But they are dropping deep, and Subiaco are dominating the ball here. Oh, lovely little turn there from Bachera, and a second. He can't get away, but wins the ball back. Here's Bachera. Looks to clip it out in the direction of Tay, doesn't reach him. Comes back for a strike and another wonderful save. It was Brock Bindle getting the shot on goal. It's another Subiaco corner.
Oh, I'm not sure if that was going in save, but Gilling wasn't to be sure. He had to scramble across his box. He had to stick a glove out, and he had to preserve Bayswater's lead. And listen to the crowd roar.
And now listen to the crowd boo as the Kai Bartush realises that his assistant's flag was up. It will not be a Subiaco corner. It'll be an offside and a Bayswater restart. Can't be long left now. We await the fourth official's tablet to tell us how many minutes will be added on. Subiaco pressing and pressing. Throw in down the line by Garces. Another Subiaco throw. They keep going. Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0. Sobot gets a touch out to his fellow substitute in Barton. Hacked clear by Ayok. 5 minutes at a time. That brings a roar from the Lions. There's that long ball looking for Tay again. It's been a good battle over there between Julian Kelly and Harrison Tay in this second half. Tay wins out again on this occasion. Drives into the Bayswater area. Lunging tackle from the captain, Ewan Blair. Stops him in his tracks. And Kelly clears. Assumption coming out and clearing off the back of Borich. Subiaco fighting on. Bayswater doing all they can. Defending stoutly and winning a foul. Fedi Naeem giving it away against his opposite number, Ayok. And they will take a bit of time on this one. The substitute, Jack Roberts, clips that one in the corner towards Gallagher, who can't make it stick. And Assumption has a ball behind his goal ready, wants to get started as quickly as possible. He looks long towards Naeem, skims off ahead, and another Subiaco throw. Naeem hustles over to take it. He's got Barton and Sobot, looks over the top for Barton, who has to put in a challenge there on McNellis. McNellis just clears. Looks like this will be the pattern of play for the final 5 minutes, Tommy. Subi pressure, Bayswater long balls. And that is a chaos ball there. Just leaving it is Spasojevic. He may have been in an offside position. Bowersash picks it up, gets the ball across the box. Ayok clears. Back four. Bindle again. Handball potentially there. It's a penalty. It is a penalty for Subiaco and a chance to equalise. Well, never intentional there, but the arm was away from the body. The clearance was missed. And I think Jack Roberts, the substitute, will be looking for a hole to swallow himself up there. No, as I mentioned, Tommy, there's no way he meant to handle that ball, but the clearance was hacked. It was hacked into the ground. It bounced up off his arm, and Kai Bartush had no hesitation pointing to the spot.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Roberts. He was just awkward body position more than anything. The ball hit his hand. It was out from his body, and it looked a pretty clear penalty to me. And Subiaco a big chance to take this 2 penalties with a penalty.
Well, perhaps a chance to get his eye in for the man described before the game by Michael Carboni as the flamboyant serve, the man who could come off the bench and make a difference if he's called upon. Here is his chance. Sobot doesn't make a difference. It's a wonderful save again from possibly the man of the match, Preston Gilling.
Oh, wow, Gilling. Another huge intervention from the goalkeeper to preserve Bayswater's lead. It looked as though it was going into the corner, but Gilling went the right way and kept it out.
Well, the blushes of Jack Roberts have been spared and passed on to Boyan Sobot. Ball flashed across the box. Still a chance for Subiaco. Gilling is going to claim this, and he will take all the time he's allowed. Technically 6 seconds, Tommy, but we know that one's never enforced. I think he will take upwards of a dozen. He does go long now. Well, such a heartbreaking moment there for Boyan Sobot. Had his chance to equalise from the spot in extra time to take this State Cup final to penalties for Subiaco. He was to be the hero, you thought, but Preston Gilling, yet again, denying Subiaco save of the game in the first half from that Jonah Froman header, and now repeating the dose from the spot. And Bayswater are indebted to their goalkeeper. If Subiaco can't find a goal in these last couple of minutes, you have to say that he has been the man to thank. And this will just about be all she wrote, you would think. Bayswater with a free kick in the Subiaco half. He will hit it long into the box over the top of everyone. Just unable to get a toe on it there. Borich trying to messle his opponent off it, and there is the final whistle from Kai Bartush. The Bayswater players celebrate. Heartbreak for Subiaco. Elation for City. And look at the Bayswater players, Tommy. They are heading down in the direction of Preston Gilling. And it's no wonder why.
Yeah, Gilling there, the hero. 2 big saves, 3 big saves in fact, including that penalty right at the end. Oh, your heart goes out to Boyan Sobat though. It's a tough kick to take, the pressure of that moment. And unfortunately on this occasion, it wasn't to be his moment, but I'm sure a talented player like him will bounce back from this and he'll get his opportunity in the future to keep pushing on. I thought Subiaco were brilliant in that second half. The changes made by the coach really had an impact. It really drove Subiaco close. They overloaded down the flanks. They've moved Ballasash into the central areas to give themselves more options, and they really gave themselves the best opportunity to take this game to penalties. They probably deserved to on the balance of the second half chances after Bayswater's good first half. But that's just how these cup finals go sometimes, Sean. You have these moments that define them, and it was Gilling's big save at the end, which was the defining one, and it's given Bayswater a win in the Under-18 State Cup final.
And beautiful scenes there. I don't know if you saw it on your screen, but Samuel Badiashile with an arm around Boyan Sobot, who's now being consoled by the Subiaco coaching staff. And it was going to be one substitute or the other to be heartbroken. Jack Roberts giving away the penalty. Boyan Sobot stepping up to take it for Subiaco, but in the end, the only goal came from a Samuel Assumption error on a Julian Kelly corner in the 20th minute in the first half. Subiaco, the better team in the second. They pressed, they just could not find the back of the net, largely thanks to the man that saved that spot kick, Preston Gilling. Well, the final score here, Subiaco 0, Bayswater 1. And Tommy, if that is the type of football we're going to see today, I think we're in for an absolute thriller. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, well done to Bayswater. As I said before, I thought they were the better team in the first half. They got themselves ahead. I thought they controlled the game as it went on in the first half, but all credit to Subiaco. They gave it their all. They had the chances to deserve to equalise, and they were probably a little bit unlucky, but that's football. It's about moments, and Bayswater took theirs, and they needed that little bit of luck as well. Well, not luck, a brilliant save from Gilling there, who's obviously the hero given the way the game panned out.
Yeah, one of those finals, Tommy, the State League Under-18s, where you could make a case that both sides deserve to win it. It was a fantastic final played in fantastic spirits, but there can only be one winner. We'll leave you with the presentations. The winning side today, Bayswater City, by a score of Bayswater 1, Subiaco 0.
To commence presentations, we firstly have Football West Competition and Clubs Manager, Dan Israel, who will be presenting medals to the match officials and runners-up, Subiaco AFC. Our referees for today were Kai Bartush, assistant referees James Webb and Ryan Norris, and fourth official Alex Wright. Subiaco AFC can come forward to receive their medals. To present the trophy and the medals to the winning team, Bayswater City. We have Football West Chief Football Officer, Jamie Harnwell. Bayswater City, you can step forward.
Give it to the people, spread it across the country. Wherever we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We will fight till it's over, so we put our hands up. We like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Wherever we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We will fight till it's over, so we put our hands up. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Now, can I get back in? Yeah, I'm so
Bayswater City.